Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, September 16th, 2025. Wherever, whenever, and however you're watching, thanks for making us part of your week. I, of course, am Timothy McClellan, America's favorite armchair football fan. And over here, coming from City Field, where he saw his New York Mets play, heading on to the homestead, the one and only John Flynn, the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast.
Hey, how's it going, Tim?
Doing pretty good. How about you, buddy?
I'm doing good. The Mets actually won a game today because I know the Mets had just lost 2 out of 3 to your Rangers over the weekend. So it's gonna be intense final 2 weeks of baseball with these wild card races.
Oh, yeah. Of course, my Rangers still trying to fight to get into that wild card race with still. So we'll see how that goes. Also joining us tonight, of course, is our trusted and faithful league commissioner, Mr. John Natale.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. I just saw a Yankees nail biter. Whew, that was rough.
So they actually held on to win that game.
Yeah, they won 10-9 after
My
having
God,
a 10-1 lead.
what is it? Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And also joining us tonight is one of our participants in our fantasy football league. He is the one that is known as simply as Dino. How you doing, bud?
I came back and won with a Hurts touchdown and a touchdown from a running back and a receiving touchdown.
Yep. He sure did won his matchup today. Speaking of which, I think we will just go ahead and take a look at what happened last week in our league. So if I can get old Bertha here to cooperate with me tonight, we'll have this information available for you. Okay, so first of all, the first game here on my list, it was me against Adam, and Adam just got me. Actually, he pretty much got me at the end of Sunday, I think. 143.82 to 138.04. Got big points from Jonathan Taylor, 29.5, 23 from Brandon Aubrey, and Debo Samuel got him 17.4. Let's see what we had here.
I mean, just again, Brandon Aubrey making the difference in a matchup in fantasy football. I mean, duh.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Automatic now.
Yes, I mean that 64-yard field goal was the reason why Adam dipped you at the end.
Yeah, because get the bonus points if those field goals are longer than usual. So what we have here, let's see here. Let's take a look at his entire team. So he had, like I said, 29.5 points from Jonathan Taylor. We got 16 from Alvin Kamara, 17.4 from De'Von Samuel, 10.1 from Travis Kelce. But of course, it was the 23 points from Brandon Aubrey that did it for him right there. Meanwhile,
it should have been more for Travis Kelce if he actually gave a damn about football nowadays.
Yeah, seems to be the case. He didn't really leave much on the base except Quentin Johnson left him 15.9 on the table. His bench players right here. I had 22.14 from Dak Prescott, 18.1 from Bucky Irving, 13.9 from DeAndre Swift, 21.2 from CD Lamb, 18.9 from St. Flowers, Fred Warner got me 14. Rams got me 13. But I actually thought that Dak Prescott would have a better matchup against the Giants than Jared Goff would have against the Bears. Like he ended up leaving me 33.96 on the table, and Nick Chubb left me 15.2. Cam Scatterbo, what a game he had, 13.9. Jake Ferguson got me 16.8. So with that, Adam,
amazing what happens when you actually use the players the fans want your team to use. Like Cam Scatterbo, like he only had 7 touches. And he only played 7 snaps against the Commanders in Week 1. He played more than half of the team snaps against Dallas on Sunday. So Cam Scatterbo would potentially be an RB1 going forward, and impressing with his physicality and toughness. That could be someone that you want to make sure you keep, because his role might grow bigger and bigger.
just might here. So I'm at 1-1. Meanwhile, Adam is going 2-0.
And speaking of Tyron Tracy, he only had 5 carries again in the game on Sunday. So not a good sign for Tyron Tracy owners that they might barely be on your bench now at this point.
Guess a running back dilemma, maybe. I don't know. Oh, let's see what happens here. Let's go to our next matchup here. It was Casey against Natale, and Casey got Natale by a score of 124.38 to 114.6. Taking a look at the starters here, Casey was able to get 22.08 from Patrick Mahomes, but look at this here, 39.2 from Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had him going.
Good God. He had 9 catches for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Natale stressed so much about his love for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now he has to face him as an opponent, and that's what knocked Natale, the defending champ, down to 0-2.
Casey got 9. He got look at this here. 22 here. Let's see, 12-8 from Jacoby Myers, 16 from the Chargers defense. Looking at his bench players, C.J. Stroud with a modest 14.98 points and 16 points from Cooper Kupp, 18.3 from Jackson Smith-Njigba. Meanwhile,
JSN clearly the Jags are the Seahawks' #1 receiver. He's going to be a weekly starter the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'd suggest Casey moves him from the bench to the starting position. So Natale, it's like, well, you're a man with elite neighbors. I did say he was going to have a better season. So far, he is. He got you 36.7 fantasy points. That is absolutely amazing. 19.9 from Baker Mayfield, 12.9 from Emeka Egbuka. Or maybe I could say.
Yeah, Emeka Egbuka is having a great start to his season. And how about Malik Neighbors? 2 incredible touchdown catches on boom balls from Russell Wilson.
Oh.
I thought the first one was impressive. So that having to leap and make sure, and then cap his day off with an unbelievable touchdown in the final minute of the game. So I now Neighbors leads the NFL with 238 receiving yards, and yet Natale is 0-2.
Wow.
I don't know what's going. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you might want to say that.
I'm sorry to block you, Natale, but we have a comment.
There's our friend Daniel Barry watching us once again. How you doing, Daniel? Great to have you here. I will say one thing. If Trayvon Diggs would have gotten any closer to Malik Neighbors, I'm afraid that I would have thought they would have been called for a pass interference, and Johnson would have the ball on the 1 yard line and just punched it in right in there. But I digress. And
Yeah,
meanwhile, on Natale's bench, 15-5 from J.K. Dobbins, 17-4 from Jalen Warren, 13-1 from David Montgomery. So as we said, Natale is 0-2. Meanwhile, Casey goes to 1-1. Meanwhile, congratulations and well done to you, Dino. Dino defeated David by a score of 135-94 to 122-94. Looking at players here. Very nice. 22-6 from Devontae Adams, 18-7 from Chuba Hubbard, 11.54 from Jalen Hurts, and 22-4 for Tucker Kraft. I'm telling you, this Tucker Kraft kid is something special. Telling you.
I mean, I'll be the first to admit I was dead wrong on my Tucker Craft expectations this season. He's going to be such a reliable target for Jordan Love, and having Matthew Golden out there is going to benefit everyone on the offense. There you saw Jaden Reed have a go up. I think Romeo Dobbs got a touchdown. One of the first 2 weeks, but. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit I completely whiffed on my Tucker Craft prediction this season.
Didn't really leave much on the table on his bench. Just 11 points from the Eagles defense, 10 points from Quinshawn Judkins. Meanwhile, David here got 7.4 from Joe Burrow before his exit from the game, but he did get 26.2 points from De'Von Achane, and he got 37.5 points from Jamar Chase, 17.8 from George Pickens, 15 from the Patriots defense special teams. Looking at his bench, he left 26-3 on the table from Drake May and Romeo Dobbs with 11.8. So that puts Dino. Very well done, my friend. 2 wins, no losses. Very nicely done.
Yeah, and also, how about Drake May? I tabbed. Did we all tab him as like a fantasy sleeper this year? Because I know I did.
I think we might have.
No. Actually, I actually put him as one of my breakouts. Because I remember having Michael Penix Jr. and Bryce Young as my breakouts, and right now I'm going 1 for 2 on them as sleepers.
Okay. We had a pain and gain matchup this week, and this time it was Lucas over Alex by a score of 165-3 to 129-2. Taking a look at all the points here. Well, Alex did pretty good for himself as far as Jaden Daniels, Jahmyr Gibbs, James Cook, Puka Nacua, Matata, DK Metcalf, Zach Ertz, all in double digits, and Bill defense special teams there. As far as Lucas's bench here. 16 from Ted McMillan, Jameson Williams with 18.8. Justin Herbert with 18.78, Keenan Allen 17.1. Meanwhile, on Alex's side, you got 25 from Javonte Williams, 19.8 from Bijan Robinson, Mike Evans with 10.6, Tyreek Hill managed 16.9, Kyler Murray at 14.
Tim, I think your mic is muted.
Yeah, I was just running down Alex's bench players. 20.88 from Jordan Love. Travis Etienne Jr. with 16.9, and Jerome Ford with 10.4, and Jalen Waddle with 17.8. So with that, Alex falls to 0-2, and Lucas goes to 2-0. And Flynn did pretty well. Took down Andrew with 142.9 to 132.08. Flynn, looks like your players did pretty good for you this week. Got a see 26.3 from Lamar Jackson, 22.7 from Christian McCaffrey, Nico Collins 14.2, Tyler Warren 11.9, 19 from the Seahawks defense, and Tyler Loop with a 12 even. Meanwhile, Kevin Walker on the bench, 18.8 and 11.4 from Chris Olave. Meanwhile, over at Andrew's position, he got Caleb Williams pretty much broke even for him at 16.98. Saquon Barkley at 17.4. James Conner 12.2. T. Higgins 14.6. Trey McBride 13.8. 11 from Edgerrin Cooper. 20 from the Ravens defense. And Matt Prater with a nice 14. On the bench, Bo Nix 20.24 and 23 from Roquan Smith. So, and that puts both Andrew and Flynn both with records of 1-1 apiece. So let's go ahead and
thank God I didn't start 0-2 because if I started 0-2 in 3 of my 4 leagues, I would have been pissed.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and take a quick preview of our week 3 matchups here. Come on, Bertha.
Is that what you call your laptop, Bertha?
Yeah, because she's so slow. I need to invest in a new.
Oh God. Oh
Okay,
God.
so
Now we have another painting game. We have another painting game. Pick'em showdown.
yeah, me and Lucas coming this week. We're closely matched right now. Lucas is projected at 139.1, while I'm at 138.2. So only 9 points separate us here. It's like I've got Prescott. He's got Gibbs and Cook. Very great running backs there. Lamb, Flowers, Laporta, my receivers. And he's got Ridley with his flex. Alex Singleton on the defense. Bills defense. And there's got Harrison Butker. So I'll make my appropriate corrections and change ups here. Another close matchup here. Adam is against Dino this week. Dino is projected at 136.7, while Adam is at 138.7. Now you see the slight balance of power right there. Brian Thomas questionable for the Jaguars going into their match against the Texans. So that's how they are right now. We got Natale against Alex this week. Alex right now has a projected total of 135.4. Natale has 133.8. So there's the comparisons right there as of right now. And then we're going to have Casey. Got Flynn versus Casey. Flynn is projected at 144.2, while Casey is projected at 133.7. Here are your chat marks here. It's there. So it's only a 10.5 difference right there. And the other matchup will be Andrew versus David. David looks like they have some serious changes here. He's got only 97.957 projected points compared to Andrew's 137.5. So that's how their matchup looks right there. So Joe Burrow, David, if you're watching, pay attention, buddy. Pay attention right here. Joe Burrow is on the IR, so you'll definitely have to change it. Aaron George Sr. is out as well, so there's two big changes you're going to have to
Oh
make
my
there, bud.
gosh, that's a double
Yeah.
whammy for David.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, so the Jordan Mason fantasy owners should be rejoicing because I think now that JJ McCarthy is hurt, I think it feels like Jordan Mason's in line to get 25 touches. So if you have Jordan Mason, be sure he is in your lineup.
Yeah, as I see Dino grinning, he has him.
Okay, so David has Drake May as his quarterback on the bench, and he's got Braylon Allen for his running back, so he may want to start. I wouldn't start Braylon Allen against Tampa Bay. I'd probably have to go to the waiver wire on that one. So
yeah, and Braylon Allen's got a tough matchup against the Bucs defense that is really good at stopping the run because them stopping the run against the Texans was a big reason why they were able to stay in that game and allow Baker Mayfield to win it.
right, so that's basically our matchups this week. Okay, so we got a lot of hot topics to talk about, and the first one we have to talk about, oh my gosh, that huge game in Big D, where obviously Mike Greenberg said the D in Big D stood for, well, it didn't stand for defense, because there was none. I mean, in the past, the Giants have pretty much been dominated by the Cowboys in recent years. But what happened on Sunday was nothing short of amazing. I mean, Russell Wilson played like he was in his first couple of seasons in Seattle. I mean,
I think the career progression for Russ was that he was more of a game manager. The first part of his time in Seattle. Then when he started to get confident, when the Seahawks allowed him to take 4 shots down the field, that's where he became such a popular commodity in fantasy, and we saw that all throughout that game where of course in the first half throwing that touchdown to Malik Neighbors to go up 10, and then two go-ahead touchdowns in the last 3 minutes of the game. The first one to Wan'Dale Robinson, and Wan'Dale Robinson was outstanding on Sunday. Yeah, because he put up 28 points in fantasy in his own. So, and so that's just why you look at Wan'Dale Robinson as a popular choice among fantasy experts to be someone you pick up on your waiver wire because Wan'Dale Robinson was kind of with his production was kind of hamstrung by the Giants' inability to take deep shots, and that was supposed to be the promise of Brian Dable when he took over because Josh Allen took a lot of deep shots when he was calling plays for him in Buffalo, and now we're seeing some of what Brian Dable is like when he's there. So So Russell Wilson was terrific in regulation, but we saw the Russell Wilson in Denver and Pittsburgh in overtime with the backwards one drop. And he threw an inexplicable interception on the second drive.
Yeah, it was a good thing that Donovan Wilson was there to get to intercept that pass from Russell Wilson there. Natale, you're the other big Giants fan. Let me get your viewpoints.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see the game, but boy, when the Giants took the lead with about less than a minute left in the game, I thought they were going to win it, but nope. Yeah, the Giants always tend to choke at those very last drives. They're horrible at stopping on the final drive. They got to get better at that.
Yeah. But I also I think a point to that was because like the Giants they came into that last drive of regulation so tired because they were getting gashed on the run. Javonte Williams had 97 yards rushing and a touchdown in that game on Sunday. So but the Cowboys launched a balanced attack throughout much of that game before, of course, those last few drives where they needed to score quickly. So.
Yeah. Javonte Williams almost got himself a Hondo right there. As you said, 97 yards there. Stephen Lamb with another 107. And check this out. Yes, the two best receivers in that game were both Giants. Malik Neighbors, 167 yards. Wan'Dale Robinson, 142 yards. That could be a dangerous duo right there for the Giants. So even though right now the Giants are 0-2, I would not sleep on that. Especially coming up this Sunday night with the Giants facing off against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I got
that game I'm worried about. They're historically bad in night games.
And I got a little something to say.
Yeah.
So,
which is a good lead into what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs, because the three-time defending AFC champions have started this season 0-2. So, there are things to digest when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs, Tim.
Yeah, there is something to say. I think Travis Kelce is a little bit off. Mostly for obvious reasons, but sometimes for different reasons, of course. They're missing Rasheed Rice because he's on this 6-game suspension. Patrick Mahomes is he's still doing okay, but he could be doing better. Let me see if I can look up the stats from that game against the Eagles.
I mean, Mahomes is actually running the ball, which is why why his fantasy outputs the last 2 weeks seem a little inflated because he's gone back to running the football, which is what made him such a dangerous weapon, a dangerous quarterback, in his first few years, because his scrambling ability. I mean, you saw that in the AFC Championship game against Tennessee 5-6 years ago. So it's not a secret that he has that ability, those abilities.
Right. Yeah, ran for 66 yards, threw for 187. So not too bad out there. The thing about Kelce, he was targeted 6 times, only caught 4 passes. Tyquan Thornton, targeted 5 times, only got 2 passes. Hollywood Brown got all 5 of his targets. Kelce was the leading receiver with 61 yards. Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts got 101 passing yards on that. But But it's a kind of a shaky defense for the Chiefs team right now.
Yeah, I'm concerned with the lack of physicality from that defense because I don't know, I'm not convinced that the talent is there for Spags to do what he wants to do. So that's going to be something to monitor. I mean, you obviously have Chris Jones, and Chris Jones is a future Hall of Famer. Probably will get into the Hall of Fame in the first ballot, but yeah, that's where we're at now.
Okay, so I got a one answer, one word question for each one of you guys here concerning the Chiefs. Patience or panic?
I'm going with patience. Yeah, they're better than this. Yeah, they know they are. The talent's there. They still have talent.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm also concerned about the offensive line play as well. Because yeah, I love the Josh Simmons pick to be the left tackle, but losing Joe Tooney is a tough pill to swallow. I mean they had to get rid of him well, because of the salary cap constraints, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens because the Chiefs and the Giants have a game coming up this week, and like I said, I got something to say about that.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are
Anyway,
facing and the and the Chiefs are facing the 32nd ranked defense in the NFL on Sunday night.
uh-huh. So looks like we got trouble in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow with his toe injury from the game Sunday. He's out. He's on IR now. He's going to be out for at least 3 months. So that got the Bengals front office to move Brett Rippon to the active roster. And if I'm not mistaken, Brett Rippon is the son of former NFL quarterback Mark Rippon. And they signed Mike White, who played for the Jets for I think a season or two, I think,
It's, and also the Dolphins.
and the Dolphins. And they signed Sean Clifford to the practice squad, as well as wide receiver Kevin Pryor. So Joe Burrow going to be out for 3 months, which means now it's going to be was it Jake Browning? You said,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, Jake Browning's he's got some weapons. He's got Chase Brown, he's got T. Higgins, he's got Jamar Chase. Uh, so I think the offense is hopefully it's going to be okay, but of course they have that matchup against Minnesota, where Minnesota has injury problems too. J.J. McCarthy, he has a high ankle sprain, and he may miss between 2 to 4 weeks, which means that it's going to be Carson Wentz for the Vikings. And I am not I just don't trust Carson Wentz here. In the last few years he's played, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but of course we'll make our
Although,
predictions.
yeah. Although one thing I will say about this major coaching advantage for the Minnesota Vikings, that's one thing I will say.
Uh-huh.
But then again, I said that last week. We're against Raheem Morris, so we'll have to see which version shows up.
Yeah. And what about the Chicago Bears? I mean, they're starting 0-2, even though Ben Johnson said this earlier. It was either today or yesterday that he's seeing some promise in Caleb Williams. Um, I keep saying Robo Dunze is going to have a better second year than his last year. Uh, of course, they have their new head coach Ben Johnson there, but I right now, Flynn, I can't seem to really pinpoint the problem in the Windy City.
I just think that I look at a couple of problems. So with that, I think number one, I don't think they addressed the running back issue properly. I mean that they can't run the ball as efficiently as they want to, and also they did not address the tight end situation appropriately, and drafting Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren might turn out to be one of the big mistakes of the offseason for the Bears. So, um, yeah, I think that's where I'm coming from when it comes to the Chicago Bears.
I'm thinking if Colson Leveland doesn't show up anytime soon, I may have to put out an APB.
Yeah, and
But
by the way, on Sunday, one target, zero catches, and then in his first game, two catches for 12 yards.
yeah, so hopefully those Bears can work him in a lot better than what they have here. Let's see here. What are we talk? What's Oh, Natale,
Yep.
you have an issue with the Broncos Colts game from this past Sunday.
Yeah,
It was a
I felt that
controversial
that penalty
call.
was a little bit petty. Maybe it was a foul. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, I think it was like a slight touch. I felt he was going to miss the field goal anyway. I mean, if the player touched it, sure, I could see the point in calling it, but it was wide right. He missed the field goal. It's not like that. It's not like he distracted the kicker or anything. It's up to the kicker to avoid those type of things. The kicker should be aware of when the plays come like that.
Okay, Flynn, your thoughts on that?
I mean I thought that was a clear penalty. It's a bit, but it was clear that another defender was trying to use the back of the other defender to try and block it. It's not in the spirit of the game, so it's yeah but I do think that kind of impacted so the kicker's ability to make that field goal, because like if he kicked it straight up like he did, he probably would have been blocked.
All right, so we have that here. Looks like oh, going back to the Vikings, I forgot to mention this. The running back Aaron Jones, he's going to be out for a little while. He has hamstring injury, and he'll be out for about 4 weeks. So I guess Jordan Addison is still on suspension, right? He should be back. What was it? 2 weeks or this week or next week?
Yeah, he has one more game of his suspension. Yeah,
So okay,
yeah, with that.
all right. So he'll be back for week 4. So Jordan Addison, you owners, or if Jordan Addison is available, if you are playing anywhere, if he's available, you might want to go ahead and sack him up a little bit because Aaron Jones is going to be out for a while. So let's see here. Looks like Jaden Daniels suffered a slight knee injury. He might be iffy for this week's game. Um, so the Dallas Cowboys signs defensive tackle Jadeveon Clowney. When I first heard this news, one word came to my mind. Why?
I mean, they couldn't stop the Cam Scatterboo on Sunday, and they're gonna need to stop the run if they want to be much better defensively, than they are.
Well, I think I heard from this morning here. He was a three-time All-Pro, or 3 Pro Bowl selections when he was in his days in Houston. I know he played a couple of years in Kansas City. Uh, he was from, what was it, South Carolina, where he played college
He's,
ball.
yep, South Carolina. Because he made a ridiculous play in the Outback Bowl against Michigan. In his seniors in
And
the year
that
before he
play
was
went
drafted.
and that play went viral. I mean, that play was over before it even started. And I said, "Whoa, that guy's going to be something." But
And he's had a
I
good
don't know.
career so far.
He's done pretty good. Hopefully, he's still got something in his tank. He is expected to start this week when the Cowboys travel to the Windy City to take on those Bears. So
Yep.
just see what happens there here. Let's see here. Any other news? Hopefully, I
Mm.
haven't left out anything of any importance.
Yeah,
Unless Flynn, you have something we want to talk about.
yeah. I put in the description for the YouTube, so that I wanted to highlight some of the big performances from the week. So the big ones. Jonathan Taylor led the way with 28 and a half in half PPR, 29 and a half full PPR. James Cook, he had a monster day against that Jets run defense. So De'Von Achane, despite only having 30 rush yards, he had 10 catches for eight targets on 10 catches for 92 yards. So yeah, I think De'Von Achane is going to be going to be an RB1 on fantasy teams the rest of the year.
All right, so that was really quite good. Javonte Williams, I'm surprised he's kind of up there. I mean, I'm kind of starting to become a believer in Javonte Williams, although I'm not an instant believer yet. I want to see some more of this guy, but he's looking pretty good. And Miles Sanders is
Yeah,
he's getting in there where he needs to be. So
yeah.
I
And
guess
also
okay.
Christian McCaffrey, so he had six catches, 107 all-purpose yards, and a touchdown. I'm very happy I drafted him in our league. Um, the wide receivers we talked about Ahmed St. Brown, Malik Neighbors, and Romo Dunze. But safe to say, I am a little concerned about a couple of these receivers that AJ Brown and Brian Thomas Jr. said that they have both underwhelmed so far. And look at this, Brian Thomas Jr. 4 receptions on 12 targets against the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday.
Wow.
And speaking of which, we do have a question for y'all to discuss.
Portugal Soccer 7 says Alvin Kamara or Ashton Genty full PPR for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm riding on Genty all the way. Yeah, despite Genty having a rough second game, yeah, I think he's definitely due for a bounce back. Yeah, Father Time is catching up to Kamara. He's not the same as he once was. Yeah, I think I still consider Genty a candidate for the offensive rookie of the year, and yeah, maybe even offensive player of the year. But yeah, I'm definitely riding all the way on Genty. Got to go with the youth. Got to go with the rookie. This season is high end rookies. I'm riding with Genty all the way.
Yeah, and also to mention, Tedor McMillan is having a good start to his season, but right now, Alvin Kamara through 2 weeks ranks number 15, while Ashton Genty ranks number 27.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think Genty only running for 2.7 yards per carry. That's a little concerning to me. Through a couple weeks. Is he gonna get better? Yes. But I think with Alvin Kamara being the veteran, I think the Saints are gonna have to lean on him, and Kamara is still yet to score a touchdown, but I do think that time is gonna come soon.
All right, I think I'm going to be unanimous and go with Genty on this one. Just like uh, just like Natali said, Kamara, his time is almost approaching. I don't know how many more good years he's going to have left. Genty is just getting started. Youth over age, well, Father Time never loses. So
Yeah. Yeah.
go with Genty here.
Another thing I'm concerned about is Evan Ingram because like because Evan Ingram to me was the biggest fantasy loser last week because he only appeared in 42% uh of the snaps for the Denver Broncos, and he's ranked 39th through the first 2 weeks. He only has 6 targets, 4 receptions for 33 yards. So yeah, I'm awfully concerned about this.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about it too. So it's wasted there. So we got Tucker Kraft, Juwan Johnson, Zach Ertz, top three tight ends this week. That Tucker Kraft,
Hmm.
he keeps playing the way he does. He'll make all pro in about a year or two. They do that. Of course, Dino, big thumbs up there. I guess that must mean he must have him on his fantasy league.
Yeah, he does.
Actually,
He's got the Green Bay Packers player. Dino lives in Wisconsin. Yeah, he knows what's up.
yeah, he's a cheathead.
Kraft cheese. We'll get some mac
Yeah,
and cheese.
Tucker Kraft mac and cheese. There you go. Yeah, the good stuff right there. Dino had a little question in the chat here. He wants to ask us, who will get their first win? Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn?
I think it's more which of those two is gonna win first.
Right.
Yeah, probably the Bears if I had to pick.
Maybe Ben Johnson.
Probably Jets.
So Dino's thinking Aaron Glenn. I'm kind of leaning toward Ben Johnson because I think the Bears are slightly better than the Jets right now. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, it is it's trivia time. So
Yes, indeed, it is.
I've got a question. Natalie and Flynn both have questions, but they might
Well,
those
yeah,
questions
this is risky,
might
but
be
we'll see if
similar.
Glenn and I have the same thing.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go first with this one to tally because I fear the
All right.
worst.
All right, fine. But I mean, if your question is exactly the same as mine, you'll have to withdraw yourself from answering then.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a graphic on one of my feeds. As we all, of course, Flynn and I know, the Giants are 0-2. I noticed it was there's a graphic since 2013. The Giants have done that 10 times, starting the season 0-2. Which team is second? Which team has the second highest span?
Oh, I didn't think you were gonna go that far. So that was not my projected my question. So
Okay, then you're free to ask yours then.
okay, so so it's actually it has to do with 0-2, and that. But so the Giants are 0-2, and Russell Wilson leads the NFL in passing yards. So the question here is, who is the last team to lead the NFL in passing and start the season 0-2?
Oh, okay.
Interesting question there.
I might have an idea on that, potentially.
Might have an idea on that. And Natalia, your question was
Since 2013, the Giants have started the season 0-2 10 times. Which team is the second highest?
Yeah, I think I know what that one is. All right, Tim.
I may have an answer on that one. Okay, so my question kind of came out of the Giants Cowboys game. As y'all know, Russell Wilson threw for what was it, 494? It was like 475. It was almost 500.
450.
450. Russell Wilson threw 450 yards and his team lost. My question is, who was the last quarterback to throw for at least 400 yards in a losing effort? I'll give you one clue. It was an AFC quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers.
Mm. Ooh, there's some good ones out there, but we'll have to see what the answers are after that. So
Okay, so I think Flynn has a starting sit for us to consider.
yeah, I believe I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put myself in solo mode, and we're gonna do something about that. Okay, let me put myself in solo mode and mute everyone else for the moment. Okay, so I have a couple of things to consider. My sleeper for the week in week three. I have to go with Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. So he of course is having a really good start to his season. He's 2-0, and now he's got a favorable matchup against the Tennessee Titans. So I do think he's going to be able to have another strong performance for the Indianapolis Colts coming up on Sunday. My fantasy dud for week three for week three in the NFL. I'm gonna go with who is it gonna go with? I thought I was gonna go with Braylon Allen, but for the Jets, but that's already been taken up. So you can consider all the Jets running or all the Jets running backs for that. But my fantasy dud for week three in the NFL has got to be Tua Tagovailoa. That said that the Dolphins got lost at home to the Patriots, and now they have to go to Buffalo to take on the Bills. That is just a that feels like a recipe for disaster all around um uh, uh, for for week number three of the NFL season. And then my fantasy must start uh for for uh, for week three in the NFL. I'm this was actually a tricky one for me, but I'm gonna go with Jordan Mason of the Minnesota Vikings because now I think that there's gonna be more of a reliance on running the football now. With the backup quarterback in, I think he's gonna have 100 yards. I think he's gonna have a touchdown, and that was one of the more intelligent trades that was made during the offseason. The Vikings coming in and bringing in Jordan Mason. I think against the Bengals defense. That you're still not sure about against the run because they haven't played great teams yet because the Browns, the Jaguars were kind of that way. But I do love the matchup for Jordan Mason against the Minnesota Vikings. Make sure he's in your lineup. I think he's going to have a really good day against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Some great words of some great words of wisdom from the one and only John Flynn. Of course, I'm sure he will expand on that a little bit more later this week when he does his NFL Week 3 edition of Hooked on Sports. Y'all be sure to listen to that wherever you find your podcasts. So now, I guess it's pick'em time.
So yeah, let's look at all the games this week.
All right, it is pick'em time, folks. Oh, Flynn, I was going to ask you. I didn't even think about it during our pre-show meeting. Have you usually take the tabs of how well we have all done
Yeah,
with
it's
straight up and against the spread?
yeah. I believe it or not, did not think about that. I was more concerned about what it was for my podcast because that's what I was mainly focused on. But yeah, I'll that once I think next week I'll try to have everything tallied up.
Alrighty then. Sounds pretty good. So I guess we'll get an update on that on next week's show. Meanwhile, let me go ahead. Where's these? Where is the button
Oh,
here? I
Mountain
need to
Dew.
find the button. Mountain Dew.
Cherry
Okay,
looks like
all right, let me get this
cherry
here.
lemon.
Let me share the screen here. And I think we got the schedule up on the screen here.
Yep.
And there we are. Well, that was actually last week's games. So we'll just skip on over to week 3. And we will begin week 3 with the aforementioned Miami Dolphins going into Buffalo taking on the defending league MVP Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And the Bills come into this game as 11.5-point favorites. Prime Video is where you're going to find it. And this almost sounds like a total mismatch right here. It's like one of the very best versus one of the very worst.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing much to say about this one. Tua is becoming trash. I think Tyreek Hill is still upset that he didn't get a trade offer, or that Chris Greer did not want to trade him at all. Chris Greer needs to be fired ASAP. I say he will be fired within the next 3 or 4 weeks. Buffalo, really, no problem. The only problem is trying to stop Buffalo. How are you going to stop them? Well, obviously Miami is not going to. This is not my lock of the week, but I am definitely taking Buffalo to win and cover in this one. I'm going to give Buffalo, let's say, I'm going to say, give me Buffalo 35-21 convincingly, because no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. So, Flynn, your take.
Yeah, I think this was one of the easier bets of the week. This is not my lock of the week, by any means, but yeah, but I mean because like the 11.5 in a division game kind of scares me, but I just think Buffalo and Miami are on 2 different wavelengths. So I'm gonna take the Bills to win this game by a score of 31-16.
All right, Natale.
Yeah, the Dolphins haven't beaten Buffalo in years, I think. I want to say their last win was like 3 years ago or something, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, it's always been a bloodbath between the Bills and the Dolphins. So I'm just gonna say right out of the gate, this is gonna be my lock of the week. I have Buffalo winning 30-16.
So that's Natale's lock.
Yeah, I'm taking a
Natalia
lock right
is
out of the gate.
locking the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I do think fantasy wise, you you're gonna want James Cook in your lineup. I think you're gonna obviously Allen it goes without saying, but I want to keep seeing more consistency from the receivers. I think that's what I'm gonna want to see from that team going forward.
All right, Dino, what do you want to say about this game? I don't think we can hear him.
His mic is on.
Yeah. tell you what, Dino, if you want to go ahead and type in your prediction, we'll let everybody know. Right now, I cannot hear a thing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Heard him a little bit.
Yeah, barely.
All right. I'm going to take Buffalo by a lot.
Buffalo by a lot. That's pretty much what we're all saying here. So, I guess we're all. I guess we're all obviously unanimous with the Bills over the Dolphins. Let's go to the Sunday games. Uh, starting, we got Cleveland and Green Bay. Game is going to be at Huntington Bank Field, Cleveland, Ohio. Green Bay is coming into this one 8.5 point favorites. Um, this is almost as bad as Buffalo and Miami. This is almost as bad. Uh, but actually, take Green Bay is a tough thing. I mean, Jordan Love's still good. Offense is good. Defense is good. Uh, Cleveland's Cleveland, of course, with their quarterback situation here, their defense is not doing too well. I'm going to okay, Green Bay 8.5. I'm going to go ahead. I'll take Green Bay on the road. I will give the 8.5. I say Green Bay wins and covers. Give me a score of gonna put a tenner out there. Give me Green Bay 30-20 over the Browns.
Yeah, this is gonna be my lock of the week. 'Cause I think there's so much more energy with the Cleveland around surrounding the Cleveland Browns this year than in previous years because of what Micah Parsons brings to the table. So I think it's gonna be a big game for Josh Jacobs, another big game for another big game for Tucker Kraft. They both have good matchups, so make sure you put those guys in your lineups. So I'm gonna pick the Packers to win this game and lock. I think it's gonna be a dominant defensive effort. Give me the Packers to win by a score of 24-6.
All right then, Natale.
Yeah, this one was pretty much my runner up choice for lock of the week. Yeah, the Browns are a hot mess. Yeah, Green Bay looked really good, so I'm going to go 24 also but I'm going to give the Browns a little bit more points. I'm going to have them cover, but just barely, 24-13.
Okay. I guess, and of course you don't have to ask Dino who he's going to slake.
Green Bay
No.
34-21.
34-21. All right, so we're all Green Bay on that one. Indianapolis at Tennessee. Played in Nashville. The Colts are coming in at 3.5 point favorites. And I'm telling you something right now, Daniel Jones is he is starting to impress me. Starting to get to a feel of things with the Colts there. He's getting a feel of there. Jonathan Taylor is back. He's looking very good. So I hope Cam Ward is starting something just in case Daniel Jones gets injured. Oh, of course, if they want to go ahead and put Anthony Richardson in there before they put in Cam, or put Anthony Richardson, if Cam Ward's going to have another really rough day. But okay, 3.5. I'm gonna take the Colts to win and cover this one. This might be a little bit closer than I'm thinking here. Give me. I'm going to take the Colts over the Texans by a score of 27-21.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tim. I like the Colts to win. I like the Colts to cover. I think Ty the Warren. I think outside of McBride, Bowers, and Kraft, I think he might might have the best matchup this week. Besides those other three, that the Titans might have the worst linebacking core in the entire NFL. So and Daniel Jones, heavily reliant on tight ends throughout his NFL career. I think he's gonna throw the ball to him at least 10 times. So I think he's gonna have a superb matchup. I do think it's another big game for Jonathan Taylor. Um, as a Titans defense that showed they had trouble stopping Kyle Williams and Blake Corum last week. So I think all in all, I just think the Colts are a better team. I think they have the coaching advantage in this game. I could see Brian Callahan as a coach that could be fired by the end of the season. So I'm gonna lay the points with the Colts. I have them winning by a score of 26-16 at this point.
Ooh.
What are
All
you
right,
thinking,
Natale.
Natale?
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm just a teeny tiny different wavelength. I have the Colts winning, but I'm gonna have Tennessee cover. I do like
Ooh.
I like the division rivalry type of thing. I think both teams are going to compete here, so I see this being a one-score game. I'm gonna take the Titans with the points, but I'm gonna give the edge to Indy, 24-21.
I respect that. Good argument for grabbing the points there.
Interesting. See what happens there. We'll see what happens in Minnesota when the Burrow-less Bengals go to Minnesota to take on the JJ-less Vikings. And now so with both starting quarterbacks out of this one,
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota is 3-point favorites, and well, now that both starting quarterbacks are out for a time, and I've never really trusted Carson Wentz, and I've never trusted. Well, I don't even know anything about the other quarterback, but I'm just
Jake
gonna
Brown.
Jake. Yes, uh, but they got some pretty good receiving cores, both teams. But I got to give a slight edge to Cincinnati. I'm giving a slight edge to Cincinnati. This is not my upset special of the week. That's coming later. But I do think that Cincinnati will come in and take down Minnesota. It's going to be a very close game. The late second field goal is going to win it. I am going to take the Bengals over the Vikings. Let's call this 20. I'm taking the Bengals to win by a score of 27-24.
All right, so my turn now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings to win the game and to cover the spread. And look, I don't think it's very difficult to pick against Kevin O'Connell coming off a loss because like his Vikings teams have always played well coming off a loss. During his time there, but I think what's been lost in the shuffle with the JJ McCarthy praise, his teams have only scored 12 points in 7 of the in if you take out that fourth quarter against the Bears, the Vikings have only scored 12 points this season with JJ McCarthy as the quarterback. So I do think there's going to be more rhythm and blues offensively with Carson Wentz because you have that line behind them. So you have the advantage of having Justin Jefferson going up against the Bengals secondary, which still needs something to prove. But in the end, I think the Vikings are the better team. They think they have the better coach. They have the better defense. Although I will say the Bengals have played well defensively, and I think Al Golden deserves a lot of credit for that. But I give me the Vikings to win. The Bengals are playing a real team now. Give me the Vikings to win by a score of 27-20.
All right. I guess for me, I think this has a snooze fest written all over it for me. Got a battle with the backup quarterbacks, and as of right now, I think it's looking promising. Before this season, my original prediction, I had the Bengals having the 7th seed, but prior to the season starting, I changed my mind at the last minute and changed it to the Steelers. But so far, this is looking pretty promising for me. I mean, when you have battle of the backup quarterbacks, for me, this tells me one thing. This is my garbage game of the week. I actually see a very low-scoring game here. I think both offenses are going to struggle. I actually have a battle of the defense here. I have a low-scoring game for some reason. I can't really rely on. You can't really rely on backup quarterbacks too much. So, give me 19-14, Minnesota.
Okay.
Ooh, Dino. Yeah, anything to say about this?
Lock in the Vikings in Tennessee.
Ooh.
The Vikings in Tennessee, they're not playing each other this week.
No. They're going to beat the Colts.
So did we get your match you pick yet for that game or no?
No.
All right.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah, this next one will be my last. Then I have to go.
Okay. All right. So, and he says he's taking the Vikings as well. So it's going to be interesting here. I guess I'm the lone wolf on that one.
17.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh yeah, New England at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are coming in at 1.5-point favorites. Of course, they're playing at the old Razor Blade, Gillette Stadium. Aaron Rodgers against Drake May, youth against age. Looks like the Steelers came back down to earth a little bit, but I can see them with a bounce back game here with a slight edge. I'm going to say, I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game. Of course, 1.5 points. That ain't nothing. But I think this might be closer than what some people say. I'm going to give Pittsburgh the edge on this one. Give me the Steelers over the Vikings by a score of 27-23. That's how I'm going to see it that way.
All right. Yeah, I'm picking the Patriots. I'm picking the Patriots to win. I think this is a good opportunity. A good opportunity to start Drake May because the Steelers defense was gashed 2 weeks in a row by Justin Fields and Sam Darnold, and they have not played well defensively. There are construction issues there, and the Steelers offense did not play well in the second half against Seattle. That to me is a little concerning. So I think the Patriots are. I think there's the Patriots are an up and coming team. I think they grew a little bit in the win over Miami last week, and I think there are matchups here that favor the Patriots. Whether it's Ramondre Stevenson, who somehow magically became the RB1 again for the Patriots. So I'm going to pick the Patriots. I think it's going to be a close game. I have them winning by a score of 17-14.
Yeah, I know. During the Tom Brady era, the Steelers have historically struggled against New England, but this is a different New England team now. I mean, this year they are slightly better. I'm going to give this game to Pittsburgh. However, I'm going to take New England with the points. But I think it's just going to be a 1-point game. I think this is going to be a little bit of a slugfest. I'm going 27-26 Pittsburgh, but I'm giving them the win, but I'm taking New England to cover.
Oh, Captain Cop Out, really? All right.
Ooh.
I mean, can you stay around for one more pick because I think this is the game of the week coming up.
All right, sure. And then after that, you want to answer my trivia question?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right. So we'll start with you. So So the Rams, Eagles. I can't wait for this game, and I believe the Eagles are favored by 4.5 points, according to what I sent you. So take your pick, Natale.
All right. Yeah, this one was probably one of the more difficult ones for me to call. I could really see this go either way. Yeah, of course, Jalen Hurts is having a fantastic year. I mean, AJ Brown is struggling a bit, but I think he's going to get it together. Yeah, Puka Nacua is doing pretty decent so far. I mean, Kyron Williams, it's hard to tell what we're going to get from him. Man, I do see another high scoring game here. I'm going to take the Rams with the points, but I'm going to take Philly to win this one. I'm going 31-28.
Right, Tim.
All right. Yeah, I agree with everything that Natalie said about this game. But go with the home team. If you can't really pick winner, go with the home team. A friend of mine always says this will be won't be a blowout, but it's going to be pretty competitive. I'm taking the Eagles over the Rams by a score of 30-26. Fly chickens fly.
Upset special. Give me the LA Rams to go into Philly and beat the Eagles. And look, I think the Rams as currently constructed are the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC. The Rams Eagles is my matchup for Championship Sunday at the end of the season. And look, what Matthew Stafford did to that defense, what was almost miraculous, especially if you look at the fourth quarter of that divisional round game. So and he looked good. The running game looked better, and they got to the quarterback. So the Rams have definitely looked better on the eye test than the Eagles. So I can't stress enough how much I like the Rams to win this game. I think it's going to be a great game. Rams win 29-26, given that in an upset special. All right.
Oh, baby.
All right. So, what's your trivia question? Let's answer your question, Tower, before you go.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I might as well try to answer your guys too. I'm kind of curious here. So, yeah, mine is dating back to 2013. The Giants they became 0-2 10 times. Which team is second? I'll give a hint. The team that's second has 7 0-2 starts from 2013 to present.
Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this one. Tim, what is your guess?
Start 0-2, but leading the league in passing yards.
That's not. No, you missed. All right, I'll say it again. That's I'm sorry. The Giants have started the season 0-2 10 times, dating back to 2013. Which team is second in that span with 7?
7 times since 2013, they start 0-2.
Correct.
I'm going to say Chicago Bears.
Okay.
I'm. What happened?
No, nothing. I just acknowledged Tim's response. I said okay.
Okay, I heard. Did Daniel say something?
New England.
New England.
Huh.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You really think with Brady as the quarterback they'd start 0-2? I mean, come on now. My answer is the Jets.
No, actually, believe it or not, according to the graphic I got, the answer was actually the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was the Carolina Panthers. I wish I saved the photograph because it showed the top 5. Unfortunately, I don't have the photograph on me. I should have saved it. But yeah, Carolina started 0-2 7 times in that span.
Yeah. All right. So I think my question. Hopefully we can get Timmy back, but the last team to start to lead the league in passing despite starting the season 0-2. So who was the last team to do that?
Yeah, I have a guess because I know he started 0-1 in his debut, but I'm not sure if he was 0-2. My guess is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals when Joe Burrow started.
Okay, so so again, the question is, through the first 2 weeks of the season, a team led the league in passing at the start of the season 0-2. So,
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah, I'm
going
going to
with,
guess the Cincinnati Bengals.
okay, Tim. What's your guess?
Um, I think I'm going to go along with Natale. I think he's got a correct answer. Cleveland, Cincinnati Bengals on that one.
Dinah, what's your guess?
Let's go with Jacksonville.
Okay, so prior to this season, the last team to lead the league in passing and start the season 0-2 through 2 weeks was also the New York Giants. They last did it in 2013
Oh,
Oh,
with Eli Manning.
with Eli. Okay.
Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So the Giants was the answer to Natalia's question.
Yes. And
Uh-huh.
then let's knock out your answer before Natalia leaves.
Okay, Natali. Who was the last quarterback to throw for over 400 yards in a losing effort?
Hmm.
I gave you one clue. It was an AFC quarterback.
AFC quarterback. Okay. Ooh. I might have a guess, but it might sound too obvious. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait. Ooh, wait a minute. I'm torn between two quarterbacks here. They're both retired by now. I'm torn between. Oh no, never mind. This guy was NFC. I'm gonna go with. It seems too obvious, but I'm gonna go with Peyton Manning when he was with the Colts.
The,
Okay,
the,
Natali.
uh,
Flynn, what do you
the,
say?
this feels obscure, but I feel like there was a game last year where Gardner Minshew went up, but his team lost. So I'm gonna go with Gardner Minshew.
Okay, Dino.
Well, no, it's not Aaron Rodgers, so let's go with Russell Wilson from Pittsburgh last year.
So we got Russell Wilson from Dino. We got Gardner Minshew from Flynn. And we have who from Natali?
I'm going with Peyton Manning, but it sounds too obvious. Feels like a trap.
No.
Well, sorry, guys. But the correct answer, and it just happened last year. It was week 15 of last year. It was Jared Goff.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Quarterback.
Yeah, Jared Goff. It was the Lions against the Bills. The Bills won that game by a score of 48-42, despite the fact that Jared Goff went 38 of 59 for 494 yards.
mm.
5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did take 3 sacks for a loss of 21 yards. So it was Jared Goff.
Ah.
Yeah.
And
So we have 3 questions. Two questions coming up right now. So, but would you trade AJ Brown for Kenneth Walker and George Pickens?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm doing
I
that
would.
in a heartbeat.
AJ Brown, there's something, he's not firing on all cylinders. So, yeah, trade.
And then last one, his running backs are Tony Pollard, Amari Hampton, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt, and his wide receivers are Drake London, CeeDee Lamb, Marvin Harrison Jr., Kayshawn Boutte, Wandale Robinson, Chris Godwin, and Khalil Shakir. Should I accept Marvin Harrison, Tony Pollard, and Wandale for T Higgins and Alvin Kamara?
That's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, Kamara's not that same player he once was.
I agree.
Um, I mean, with Wandell, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get with him. It's either
Right.
it's either 100 yards or maybe barely in the 30s. It's boom or bust basically for Wandell there. So
Right.
way
So,
too risky.
do not trade. Do not trade.
All right, so I guess you need to go to bed,
I'll
Natalie.
probably hang around for more pick. I'm gonna walk around and grab my work clothes, and I'll hang around for probably one more pick. But save me for last on that one.
Okay, so let's go to let's take a look briefly at the Jets and the Buccaneers, and I and what was the spread I gave you in the chat, Tim, about for that game?
The Jets and the Bucks. You gave Tampa Bay 6.5.
All right, Tim. To take your pick?
All right. Well, Justin Fields kind of went back down to earth last week after being very close against the Steelers 2 weeks ago. But I think he'll have a better game this week. But of course, you got Tampa Bay, you got Baker Mayfield, you got Chris Godwin, you got Mike Evans, you got that young, awesome running back Bucky Irving. I'm so high on that guy. But actually, this is my big point spread game of the week. I see a score of 26-23. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers for the win, but I'm going to take the Jets for the points.
Yeah, I'm with you too because I'm gonna pick I'm gonna pick the Bucks to win in their home opener, but I do think that this is a favorable schedule starting to set up for Justin Fields. I don't know if it's if he's gonna have it this week, but I think that there's gonna be some opportunities there for Justin Fields against some of that defense. But we will have to see if he's going to be able to play. But if Justin Fields can't play, it'll be onward to Tyrod Taylor, who I think can help out as there. But I think that this is too much of a line, but I'm gonna grab the points with the Jets. But I've been winning by the Bucks winning by a score of 24-21.
All righty.
All right, Dino.
That's how you want to get. Dino will
Dino
go
can go first. That's fine.
Definitely Tampa Bay.
Definitely Tampa Bay. And Natale?
Yeah, this one, I think I'm gonna go with Tampa on this one. I mean, Baker Mayfield's been fine. I mean, despite Ibuka being having absolutely no targets in the second half, I think he's going to bounce back. So maybe I think his touchdown streak will end, but I think he's going to get the ball a lot more this time. So I'm going to go with Tampa on this one, 26-20.
Alrighty then. So I guess.
All right, guys.
we'll
On that
go
note, I got to head to bed. I got work in the morning. I mean, I'll send the rest of my picks in the chat sometime tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm just gonna follow the map. Where do I leave off? Okay, so we'll start with Vegas and then going down. Got it.
All right.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Good
night.
night, Natalie. Take care. And while he heads off into the sunset, we're going to be heading off to Washington, where the Commanders are going to be taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Commanders are 3.5-point favorites on this one. Raiders kind of having a slow start here. Washington doing okay. Like I said, I think Washington will finish second in the NFC East. I think if I'm not mistaken, I picked the Raiders to pick either third or fourth in the AFC West. I'll probably have to look back at my notes for that, but I'm going to go ahead and take Washington to win and cover this one. Give me a score. Oh, let's see here. What sounds good? 26-21. I'll take the Commanders over those Raiders.
I mean, this is one that I would not touch and put in my survivor pool because we don't know whether Jaden Daniels is going to be playing or not in this game.
Right.
I think the thing about about this is that the Commanders have 3 extra days to get ready for the Raiders, while the Raiders are coming off are coming off a short week, and they just they were playing at this time 24 hours ago. So I'm trying to fathom them turning it around on a short week, and play against a team that had 4 extra nights of rest. But look, Pete Carroll's been good in this in this environment, but this feels like a prime opportunity for Ja'Cory Krowski-Merritt to fully take over as a starter after Austin Eckler got hurt, and after the injury to trading by Robinson. He's now thrust into the lead back role for Washington. So I'm going to take the Commanders to win this game by a score of 31 to of excuse me, not 31, 21 to 13.
All right, Dino.
Give me the Raiders.
Ooh.
Oh.
Upset.
Bold move indeed. Given the fact that like Flynn said, don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to be ready for that game. But let's go to Carolina. The Panthers are at home against the Falcons. Falcons are coming in at 5.5-point favorites. Yeah, Bijan Robinson is having a second year that is starting off so far so good. It's just their defense that I'm a little bit worried about. And Carolina, they're still a little bit shaky. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be. I say Atlanta wins and covers. Give me the Falcons by a score of 26 to. Yeah, let's go 20. 6-point win. 26-20. Atlanta wins and covers.
Yeah, I wanted to find reasons for the Panthers to win this game, but it's because I was higher on the Panthers than most during the season, and that turned out to be a big swing and a miss on my part, and like the thing about the Falcons is that they have actual stability at quarterback, and they actually have a pass rush. That is something that hasn't happened over the last 3 or 4 years. So I think on those fronts, the Falcons are a much better team, and they're a much more formidable team than I thought they were going to be. So with that in mind, I think monster game for Bijan Robinson, and I would be concerned about if I had Chuba Hubbard on my team because not only are the Falcons getting after quarterbacks well, they're also doing a good job stopping the run as well. And the injury to Robert Hunt is a devastating one for Carolina. So it's a big game for Bijan. I think the Falcons are going to win the game by a touchdown. I win by a score of 20 to 13.
Definitely Atlanta.
Definitely Atlanta, says Dino.
27.
27-20. Sounds good. AFC South battle. Houston at Jacksonville. And Jacksonville is 1.5-point favorites. I kind of wouldn't touch this one myself. This is my choice for the garbage game of the week.
Really? Oh, let me pull that up. I wasn't ready for that one.
It's just too close to call here. It's Jacksonville 1.5. Probably a low scoring game here. Like I said, can't pick winner. Go with the home team. So I'm just going to give a modest score here. Give me Jacksonville over Houston. 21-18.
It's yeah. I mean, I'm still I'm a little concerned about the Jaguars, despite being 1-1 and the Texans being 0-2. But I think this is a desperation game for the Texans. I mean, they lost in heartbreaking fashion against Tampa last week, and the defense actually did a good job until the last drive in holding Baker Mayfield. So I just think that the Texans have matchups in this game. I think Nico Collins, after a pedestrian after a pedestrian couple of weeks, I think he's going to go off in this game. I think he's going to have 7 to 10 catches, 100+ yards, and a touchdown. I think he's going to have a monster game. And I still think that there are some issues with the Jaguars, but I think the more concerning thing is Trevor Lawrence being inconsistent thrower of the football, and I that does concern me. So I picked the Texans to win the division before the start of the season. I did. I think they're gonna find a way to win the division, but barely. And that road starts with a win in week 3 to avoid an 0-3 start. Texans win by a score of 28-26.
Interesting there. Dino.
Going Houston.
Okay. So it looks like I'm going to be the lone wolf on this one. Okay, let's go to the late games now. AFC West matchup with Denver and Los Angeles over at SoFi. And from what we see here, the Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. Yeah, this could be a very, very interesting game here. got Bo Nix, and then you have one of the best defenses in the AFC and maybe in the NFL, maybe. And they're going up against a Chargers team whose offense is starting to look pretty good. I'm going to say this is a close game right here. It's just a 2.5-point difference here. I say, say go with the home team, win and cover. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go. Win and cover. Give me the Chargers by a score of 24-21. This will be one of the most entertaining games and probably an interesting game that people should kind of pay attention to here.
Yeah, and I have to mention that's one of the games I'm gonna be previewing. Because every weekly NFL podcast, I pick through a couple of 2-3 games, maybe 4 to really capture the attention of the view of the listeners as they get into the game on Sunday. This is gonna be one of those games. I think this is an excellent matchup between between in my opinion the two best teams in the division so far. But Denver lost the game against the Colts because of that personal foul leverage penalty. So that was definitely a tough pill to swallow. But I think the Chargers demonstrated physicality, the Harbaugh era physicality with that. So I'm gonna pick the Chargers. I'm gonna pick them to win by 4 points, by a score of 26-22.
I will get to that question as soon as we get a pick from Dino.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. 24-28.
All right, same margin for me. So, this is a good one. Should I drop Dalton Kincaid or Mark Andrews for Zach Ertz? This is kind of a tricky one, Tim.
It kind of sounds that way too. I mean, I was kind of thinking Mark Andrews would be doing pretty good so far, but I think it's been kind of limited in his targets, hasn't he? Or is actually getting his targets. Or I don't know about Kincaid. Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz has pretty much been a consistent tight end in the league for quite some time.
Yeah, I know, but why don't we pull up the numbers for amongst the tight ends so far? Let me just give me just a second here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your screen off for a second, and then then I'll share my screen.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
um. Okay, so yeah.
Let's take a look at the tight ends there. Kincaid, Andrews, and Ertz.
Hang on, give me a second here. Yes, so Dalton Kincaid ranks 10th. Zach Ertz actually ranks third, and Mark Andrews, um, where 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 is he? Um,
I think we need to put out an APB.
yeah, he ranks 55th. So yeah, definitely consider dropping one of them. Maybe Kincaid, because yeah, he's owned by only in 78% of leagues. But yeah, I do think it's a good idea to maybe drop Kincaid for Ertz.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we say. Thanks for your question. Thanks for watching, and good luck to you the rest of the way. Now we're going to go to New Orleans and Seattle. Played in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle comes in at 7-point favorites, and this is I'd say this is pretty much a mismatch here. I mean, uh, Seahawks doing pretty good. I mean, Sam Darnold kind of getting shaky, but I think this is where, of course, the Seahawks are really good at home. The Saints have no identity whatsoever. Therefore, I'm taking the Seahawks by a score of 28-17. And Flynn, now that you got the controls, I'm not
Yeah.
just I'm not just going to take the Seahawks. I'm going to lock them.
All right. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you too on this one, but I'm gonna pick Seattle. I think they're going to destroy the New Orleans Saints coming up on Sunday, and look, I just think as the home team, I think this will benefit Seattle, and the Seahawks actually have some dudes on the roster, right? And I just don't think the Saints have the horses to get through the season without looking really bad in the process. So I but now the question is Seattle going to look ahead to Arizona, because next week they play in Arizona on a Thursday night football next week. So could this possibly be a trap for Seattle? I think that's the only thing I have in pause, but I'm picking the Seahawks to win this game by a score of 30-20.
All right, what are you thinking, Dono?
I'm picking Seattle.
All right, at the end, so we're all unanimous with that. Next up is my game. As my Dallas Cowboys are heading to the Windy City to take on Chicago at Soldier Field. And in this game, the Bears are actually 1.5-point favorites. So you got a second-year quarterback going up against a quarterback that is now in his 10th year. Dak is showing good signs here. Tried to keep it close against Philly 2 weeks ago. And I don't know. It must have drained him having to play 5 quarters last week. 4 quarters and then pretty much the entire overtime session. But hopefully he's going to be okay. Bears. I think this may be. I think this may be a break for the Bears to really show us something. But I am going to take. I'm going to take the Cowboys to win, but I'm going to take the Bears to cover. 27-26. That's how close it's going to be. And I don't think this is going to go to overtime either.
Yes, so the Bears are actually 2-point favorites. So you'll have the Cowboys winning outright, winning and covering
Okay, so
with this.
okay, so I guess the number changed a little bit. So yeah, so still 27-26. I'll take the Cowboys in another squeaker, even though I don't really like it. But I digress.
It's the Bears are 1.5-point favorites in this one. So if Dallas wins, but even if it's I won, you'll still win.
Oh,
I think this is a tricky one to pick because again, just like the Texans, the Bears are 0-2, desperate to avoid an 0-3 start. Again, but the Cowboys might be able to run the football effectively against the Bears front that did not look good last week against Detroit. Having said that, I think if DeAndre Swift doesn't have a big game this week, I don't know when he's gonna have one. So I think the Bears are gonna play desperate. I think Caleb Williams is gonna have to is definitely someone you should consider starting. If you're in need of a quarterback, if you need to pick up a quarterback, he's definitely one that you're gonna want to pick up for this week. So with that in mind, give me the Bears to win this game by a score of 26-21.
I know.
Let's do the Bears.
So it's just you on this one with the Cowboys.
Yeah. I mean, another close one here. Interesting game in San Francisco with the Cardinals visiting the Niners at Levi Stadium. Niners are 1.5-point favorites, and yeah, we all know the Niners are just so banged up. It seems like they've been in a demolition derby for almost the last year and a half now with all these injuries here. But actually, I'm going to kind of give the slight edge to Kyler Murray, to Trey McBride, to Marvin Harrison Jr., and I got a feeling that Arizona could pull this out. It's not going to be by much, but I'm going to take Arizona over San Francisco by a score of 26-23.
I mean, this is a tricky matchup for me to pick because I really liked both of these teams going into the season, and I picked Arizona to make the playoffs and San Francisco not to. But I have a feeling this is going to be a situation where the teams split the season series. But I think the 49ers take round one and against the Cardinals. I think this is not a great matchup for James Conner. I don't think this is I think this is a good matchup, however, for Ricky Pearsall, and I think Christian McCaffrey is going to go off against this team again. So, and I think San Francisco has the coaching advantage, and I think Mac Jones played very well against New Orleans, and I think Arizona secondary is still is about although I think it's good, but I think it's rather inexperienced. I think having the gift of facing the Saints and the Panthers, now they face their first real competition of the season. And in both their first two games, yeah, they were 2-0, but they won by a touchdown or less. And I think that's concerning going into this one. So I think it's a good bet. I'm going to grab the 49ers, lay the 1.5. They win by a score of 23-16.
All right, Dano.
Definitely go under San Francisco.
So again, I am the lone wolf on this one. Now we go to Sunday Night Football. We have the Kansas City Chiefs 0-2 going into MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Football Giants, and the Chiefs are picked at 5.5. We talked about Kansas City. We talked about them earlier in the show. We talked about how shaky they are, how Travis Kelce seems to be slipping a little bit, how much they're missing Rasheed Rice because he's on his suspension, how Patrick Mahomes, yeah, he's still doing okay, but a shaky defense there. And we talked about New York, even though they lost to my Cowboys at the very last second, at the very last overtime. Russell Wilson just balled out like he was in Seattle. 450 yards passing. Malik Neighbors with 2 awesome catches. Tyrone Tracy, good, pretty good there. Who was the other running back? Scatterbo. Scatterbo.
Yeah,
He used to play for the
Cowboys couldn't cover him.
Arizona State, I think.
yeah. Arizona State. I think. I think America was introduced to Scatterbo during the college football playoff last year in the Peach Bowl.
And we talked about this, and we are starting to see the fall of the mighty Mahomet Empire. And so, for that reason, and I kind of wish that Natalie was still here to hear this. Flynn, I'm sounding the alarm on this one. Just like Rome has fallen, the Chiefs are going to fall to 0-3. I mean, if New York did that to my Cowboys, despite the fact that my Cowboys won in the last second, imagine what they could do to the Chiefs. Give me those New York Football Giants by a score of 30-28. That's my upset special.
Wow, I gotta tell you, that is a bold move of you, my friend, and a Cowboy fan, to pick the Giants to upset the Chiefs. But look, as much as we've talked about the Chiefs and their losses, look at who they've played. They've played the Chargers, who I don't know, they played the Chargers and the Eagles the first 2 weeks of the season. They are two of the best. Two of the best teams in football. Yeah, I know Philly didn't play well again on Sunday night Sunday afternoon against the Chiefs, but by going from the Eagles to a Giants team that can't stop a nosebleed, that can't even get out of their own way, and look, for as good as the Giants looked against the Cowboys, they did not look like that against look anything like they did last week against the Commanders week 1. I think the coach is going to be much better, much more formidable for the Giants to face than what they saw last week. The Chiefs are going to be desperate to get out of an 0-2 hole, and I think it's going to be a big game for Mahomes. I think big game for Kelce, big game for Pacheco. Give me the Chiefs to win this game by a score of 27-16.
Mm-hmm. Dino.
Let's go 35-32. Chiefs win.
So yeah, I've kind of made a bold move for my upset pick, and now the final game, Monday Night Football, ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus, and all that here. Detroit heading into Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who come into this game as 5.5-point favorites. This will be a very interesting game to watch here. This will be a nice dessert to finish off week 3 here. Detroit, yeah, they just tore the hell out of the Bears, but they're going up against a team that has always had a great defense over the years, and with the Ravens offense, the way they play, this is going to be a very good game. This will be very entertaining. I think I'm going to watch this one. And I could probably see the Ravens winning over the Lions by a score of 33-27.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Ravens to win this game. I mean, despite that loss to the Bills, I still think they're the most talented team in football. 1-53. I think this now that the Ravens are home in a prime time spot, this is prime real estate for Jackson, Derrick Henry to go off, and Derrick Henry only had was held to less than 30 yards rushing, but my concern level for Derrick Henry going into this week, zero, at zero. And then in terms of Jahmyr Gibbs, I think the Ravens are one of the better defenses in the league against the run. So I think that's going to be a big thing to monitor there for that. So I think if the Ravens could just stop the run, I think that's going to leave Jared Goff to be to having to throw the ball with his arm to win, and he's not going to be able to do that. So give me the Ravens. That they're going to win and cover. I have them winning, but by a score of 38-30.
30-30. Sounds interesting. All right, Dino, wrap this baby up.
Give me the Lions 43-40.
Woo! Upset special.
That is a kinky pick right there. Very much indeed. Probably about as kinky as my pick taking the Giants over the Chiefs. But I digress, and so I guess
Risk it for the biscuit.
yeah, risk it for the biscuit. That's what I say. So I guess with that, we'll just go ahead and put a wrap on this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. Of course, we'll be back 7 nights from now. And in the meantime, don't forget about Hooked on Sports with John Flynn. Go ahead and look up all of your any of your podcast methods. Apple iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, anywhere. Look up Hooked on Sports with Mr. John Flynn. Of course, now going 2 shows a week during the NFL season. And of course, don't forget tomorrow night we got the Pain and Game Pick'em show with Alex Lucas and yours truly. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on A Pizzle 90 channel. Dino, thanks for joining us, buddy. Hope we'll see you again pretty soon, and good luck in your matchup this week. And of course, good luck in everyone's matchups this week. We got some very interesting games going on here, so make sure you make your proper adjustments before the games start with the Thursday night game. So, any closing thoughts?
Nope. I think good luck to everybody, and it's going to be a very interesting week in the NFL this week.
Going to be interesting. And a big thumbs up from Dino. Well, that's going to do it, everybody. Thanks to Dino for joining us here. I hope we'll see him again.
Give my tight end 2 touchdowns.
Oh, I might want to take a note of that. And while I take a note of that, we'll go ahead and sign off. For John Natale, for John Flynn, and for our friend Dino, my name is Tim McClellan. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Enjoy the games this week. Catch you back here next Tuesday night. God bless you all. And as always, be a good sport. See you.